Chapter 16. The why and how of awareness. Awareness is like the sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed. Thich Nhat Hanh. What is necessary to change a person is to change his awareness of himself. Abraham Maslow. Awareness, awareness, awareness. That's the name of the game in mindful self-discipline. If self-discipline is the father of all virtues, self-awareness is the mother. By awareness, we mean the quality of noticing what's happening inside of you. It's the ability to look inside, reflect, and contemplate. It is seeing things as they are, with presence of mind and radical self-honesty. In other words, mindfulness. Being awake to your inner world. Self-discipline is a combination of two things, remembrance and action, or attention and intention. To practice self-discipline day after day, you need to remember your aspiration, attention, and then decide to act on it, intention. The power of self-awareness. Self-awareness brings with it many benefits to your inner life and outer life. First, self-awareness is the foundation for conscious living. Whenever you are not self-aware, you are living by default, not by design. You are being net reactive, not creative. In other words, without self-awareness, you're just playing out your conditioning. Your future becomes a repetition of your past, sadly predictable. Here's a little chart.
Oh, nice. That's a creative chart.
I didn't show you guys yet.
Yeah, that's like a diagram. I like it.
When you are self-aware, you have a choice. There is a pause, a space between the inputs from your environment and how you choose to respond. The wider that space, the more freedom you have. Your future becomes the result of your choices in the present moment. You can't choose the thoughts, emotions, and impulses that spontaneously arise, but you can be aware of them, and this gives you the space to choose your response, instead of just being pushed by the loudest voice inside of you. More awareness brings more freedom. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions are the master sculptor of your character and of the reality you experience. They determine the life you live. Hence, it's essential that you pay attention to them. Without this awareness, you are just not in control of your life. Self-discipline is the art of transforming yourself, but you cannot change what you are not aware of. More awareness brings more power. Mindful self-discipline is about awareness and not about beating yourself up. With self-awareness comes self-compassion. You see your flaws and limitations without any sense of shame or disgust, because you understand your human nature and your past conditioning. You don't hold on to unrealistic expectations. This means that you may have a clear goal about eating healthily, and yet sometimes you become aware that there's a strong desire for the junk food that is in front of you. You may even become aware that the desire is overpowering you, despite your knowledge about what is best for you, and that you are deciding to do something that goes against your aspiration. Then you become aware that you did it and how that felt in your body and mind. All of this is good self-awareness because it's clear and honest. Even when you choose something that is not in your best interest, be aware of that. I know that I'm choosing to take a step away from my aspiration right now. I don't know how to stop it, but I'm aware of what's happening. Self-awareness needs to be radically self-honest. Self-awareness also brings the understanding that shame and guilt are negative emotions that produce only suffering and not growth. With that realization, you are able to let them go, and replace them with compassion and understanding. Self-transformation is a process that needs to be cultivated, not a result you can whip yourself into. More awareness brings more self-acceptance. It is awareness that allows you to keep your goal in mind, to track your progress, and to keep coming back to the habits you are trying to create. Awareness reminds you of the new identity you are cultivating. It also makes you more aware of what triggers you. And with this knowledge, you can then choose better environments and be ready to exercise your willpower when the situation calls for it. The more you have self-awareness, the easier it becomes to exercise willpower and self-control. First, because you remember to do it before it's too late. And second, practicing awareness brings a natural pause to your automatic reactions, gives you options, and allows your aspirations to come alive again. More awareness brings more alignment. If you become acutely aware of what is actually happening in your body and mind, the moment you drink a can of soda or smoke a cigarette or spend 5 minutes mindlessly scrolling social media, you will naturally develop a distance for it. It won't happen all at once, but every time you meditate on your temptations like this, you will get closer to seeing them for what they are. As you can see, self-awareness has the potential to help you outgrow your addictions, and it does so organically, without you needing to force anything. Just as we organically outgrow our fascination for children's toys as we become aware of greater things in life. I have not outgrown my children's toys, so I don't know what they're talking about. But anyways, self-awareness is thus the catalyst for growth. All the methods in this chapter are here to help you cultivate your awareness. Remember your aspiration and translate it into action. Awareness is the bridge that connects who you want to be, aspiration, and how you decide to show up, action. Thank you. It empowers you to live a more authentic life. The qualities of self-awareness. There are many ways to define awareness. The way a neuroscientist would define it is different from the way a philosopher or a spiritual master would define it. For the purpose of mindful self-discipline, awareness has 3 main qualities: clarity, neutrality, and acceptance. Clarity means that you see things for what they are without fooling yourself. I like to call this radical self-honesty. You don't avoid or color the truth, however painful.
Yeah.
Even when you are breaking your own rules and would otherwise
Nope.
What? Even when you are breaking your own rules and would otherwise like to turn a blind eye, you instead see it clearly and articulate yourself what is going on. I know that I made a commitment not to eat any sweets for 30 days because this is an expression of my aspiration. And I can see that I'm telling myself a story that today doesn't count because it's my brother's birthday and his wife brought my favorite ice cream to the party. I can see that I'm trying to neutralize why today is an exception. I feel the urge to eat the ice cream and a pull to give in. That is radical self-honesty. It will make you more likely to say no to the excuse and thus keep yourself on track. But even if you still go forward and break your rule, at least you are not lying to yourself. You are not fooled by your rationalization. You know and see what's going on. Radical self-honesty means catching yourself procrastinating, making excuses, self-sabotaging, or giving up on your goals. It means realizing that part of yourself doesn't want your goal, at least not right now. However painful that realization is, awareness doesn't shy away from it. It sees it, accepts it, and works from there. Quick exercise. Take a moment right now to think of 3 times this week or month when you fooled yourself with your self-talk, rationalizing something that deep down you knew wasn't right for you. Make a commitment to be aware of it next time it happens. Neutrality is the second element of awareness. This means observing your experience with a sense of curiosity, without getting attached to it nor developing aversion towards it. Attachment and aversion make you partial. They blind you. Awareness is neutral because that's the only way it can truly see. In very practical terms, for the purpose of mindful self-discipline, neutral awareness means noticing what's happening without adding stories of shame, guilt, or self-criticism. All of these forms of depreciating self-talk only make it harder for you to achieve your goal. They create emotional stress, which is a form of pain, and then the lizard brain kicks in, wanting a dopamine shot of relief, that pain through instant gratification. The researchers Pahlavi and Herman aptly call this vicious cycle the "what the hell" effect. Here's a little chart. Hi, Prince Butter Dad. Instead of shaming yourself, just practice neutral awareness. Notice what happened and then feel glad that you noticed it. That moment of awareness is a big step forward. And then realize that you now have a moment of choice again. Do you want to give up your goal, thinking that you are not good enough for it? Or do you want to reaffirm it? Many people resist this idea. They are afraid that if they let go of self-criticism, that they will become lenient, lazy, and not try hard enough. But that is not the case. If your aspiration is strong and clear, you will have all the needed fuel to put in your best effort. You won't need to add shame and guilt to the mix in order to keep yourself motivated. Shame, anger, and other negative emotions can also work as powerful fuels, but they are not used in mindful self-discipline because they are an engine of suffering. We use our values and aspirations instead. Awareness has an element of self-compassion in it, of allowing things to be as they are without fighting. It is not even about self-forgiveness, but more fundamental than that. You only need to forgive yourself if you have first bashed yourself. Neutrality is not about adding that negative spin in the first place. Then there's no need to even talk about self-forgiveness. This all leads to the third element of awareness, acceptance. Mindful self-discipline is about self-awareness, not self-punishment. Whatever negative emotions or harmful urges show up for you, you see them and accept them for what they are. This means no repression and no suppression, no self-violence. There are several scientific studies showing that repressing thoughts and urges doesn't work very well. One of the reasons for this is that your mind keeps itself busy with the very thought it wants to get rid of. Don't drink anymore. Stop doing that. Forget about your anger. These thoughts affirm the very thing they want you to forget or overcome. D.M. Wagner ran an experiment where he asked the participants to ring a bell whenever they thought of a white bear. There was a control group who were told to actively think about a white bear. The result? The group that was told not to think about the white bear ended up ringing the bell more often than those who were actually encouraged to think about it. This happens because asking us to suppress a thought sets up a mental process that is constantly comparing each thought with the unwanted thought. And when we stop doing that, the suppressed thought returns with renewed strength. Forcefully suppressing a thought is like pressing down a spring. The moment you release the control, it comes back up even stronger. Here's another chart. Another study showed that smokers who were told to suppress all thoughts about smoking ended up smoking more and in the long run than the other group who were encouraged to think about smoking as much as they could. The message is clear. Whatever you resist persists. Suppressing thoughts and emotions like that doesn't work. They will stay there somewhere inside of you, silently influencing your life without you noticing it. The alternative to suppression is awareness, which is neutral and accepting. To be the witness of your thoughts, emotions, and urges without repressing them. All right, Giovanni, I got it. Self-awareness is one of the 7 wonders of the world, but how do I practice it? There are 3 core practices of awareness: meditation, reflection, and integration. If you practice them daily, you are practicing the awareness pillar in your daily life. Practice number 1, meditation. Meditation gives you space and clarity. Meditation is the first of the core trainings for awareness. It strengthens your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain where self-awareness and willpower reside, reduces stress, improves your moods, and gives you the ability to pause rather than act impulsively. All of these are essential elements for self-discipline. With meditation, you develop the power to pause, slow things down, and zoom out. It disentangles you from the thoughts and impulses in the moment, and by doing that, it gives you the clarity to see what's really happening and what needs to be done. Meditation is something you practice at the beginning of your day, ideally, to kindle your awareness. You can start by practicing 5 minutes per day. Ideally, you will grow your practice to 20 minutes per session, but with 10 minutes, you will already experience some benefits. As you will see in chapter 37, there are many different styles of meditation. Here is a simple method for you to start with. Step 1. Sit with your back straight and unsupported. You could sit on the edge of your bed or on a chair or cross-legged on a cushion on the floor. The position of your hands and legs is irrelevant. Number 2, close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths, in through your nose and out through your mouth, releasing all tension. Number 3, close your mouth and breathe normally through your nose. Allow yourself to fully arrive in the present moment. Feel grateful that you are taking the time to cultivate awareness and ground yourself. Step 4, bring all your attention to your breathing. Notice if it is shallow or deep. Notice if it is fast or slow. Notice if it is jerky or smooth. If by being aware of your breathing it changes its rhythm, that is okay. Simply allow it to be as it is. Step 5, begin to count your breaths backwards from 10 to 1, both when breathing in and when breathing out. Breathing in, 10. Breathing out, 10. Breathing in, 9, breathing out, 9, all the way to 1. Step number 6, when you get to 1, start again from 10. If you get lost and forget what you were doing, become aware of that fact. This is self-awareness. Now bring your attention back to the breath and start again from 10, with the resolve of staying with the breath moment after moment. This is willpower. And step 7, thank you for the donuts, Michael. As an initial goal, see if you can count from 10 to 1 3 times in a row without getting distracted. If you already have a meditation technique that you enjoy, you can do that one instead. Right after meditation, when your mind is clear and focused, review your aspiration and recommit to your goals. Then make a resolution to live your aspiration during the day. Affirm the intention to be aware of it, and then allow it to be the driving force behind your decisions during the day. Action step. Start a daily meditation practice. If you already meditate every day and know the best style of meditation for you, then see how you can take it to the next level by better integrating it into your daily life. Meditation, start of the day, 10 to 20 minutes, integration, ongoing, and reflection at the end of the day, 5 to 10 minutes. Practice number 2, reflection. Reflection develops perspective and accountability. It is studying yourself. It is learning deeply about your motivations, emotional triggers, thought patterns, and biases. There are 3 main ways to do this: journaling, tracking, and deep conversations. One of the best ways to practice reflection is through journaling at the end of your day. There are many different methods of journaling, but all of them essentially have the same effect. They prompt you to reflect on your day, on your behaviors, and on your choices, thus making you more self-aware and more accountable. You are teaching your brain to be more aware during the day, since it will have to answer your journaling questions every night. For the purpose of mindful self-discipline, your journaling practice is simply taking a couple of minutes to answer these 3 questions every night. Number 1, how have I taken a step toward my aspiration today? Gratitude. Number 2, how have I taken a step away from my aspiration today? Awareness. And step 3, what can I do better tomorrow? Intention. The second method of reflection is tracking. Tracking involves regularly taking notes of your habits, routines, and goal-promoting activities using a habit tracker, wall calendar, spreadsheet, or habits journal. It can also involve rating yourself from 1 to 10 in particular qualities or behaviors you're trying to develop. For example, if you want to develop more confidence, you could rate yourself every day from 1 to 10 on how much you have practiced confidence that day. Finally, it includes the practice of attributing either a +1 or a -1 to your decisions during the day, a concept we will explore in the next chapter. However you implement it, tracking gives you black and white clarity about your patterns, and it will enhance your commitment and self-awareness. Consider it an essential piece of mindful self-discipline. The third method of reflection is harder to implement because unlike the first 2, it doesn't depend only on you. It involves having deep conversations with a wise friend, a coach, or a therapist. Someone who knows how to hold space, ask the right questions, and be a mirror for you. This often goes to much deeper places than journaling and tracking because it is very hard, if not impossible, to see through all our biases on our own. we often need some support. Action step. Start a daily journal for self-reflection and also some form of tracking of your habits and the steps you are taking toward your goals. If you are able to, find a way to also have a deep psychological conversation with someone who can help you become aware of your biases and thereby gain perspective. And practice number 3, integration. Paul. Integration is applying awareness in your daily life. While meditation and reflection are practices you do in a specific time and place, integration is something that you do all the time throughout your day. It's about being consciously present to yourself and your life as it happens, moment after moment, in real time. In a way, it is taking meditation beyond the cushion. The key element of integration is observe thyself. It means to be constantly watching what's going on in your mind and body. It is to be aware of your inner weather, including the thoughts and feelings you're having, the triggers that were fired, the impulses that are pushing you, the effect of the environment on you, the mood fluctuations you're experiencing, and the desires, fears, and biases that are coloring your perception. For instance, if you are having a difficult conversation or experiencing a moment of temptation and you are aware of your inner weather, then you are integrating awareness into daily life. If not, then awareness practice is still limited to certain moments of your day, meditation in the morning, journaling at night. Without being constantly aware of your inner weather, it's very difficult to navigate life effectively or be disciplined in relation to your aspirations. This practice will be explored further in the next chapter. Action step. Make a decision to constantly observe yourself throughout your day. Set up reminders for it, perhaps post-it notes or notifications on your phone or computer to check in with yourself several times a day. Key points. Here's a little chart before I get to the key points.
Wow, that's neat. That's very neat.
Key points. Self-discipline is a combination of two things, attention and intention. To practice self-discipline day after day, you remember your aspiration, attention, and then decide to act on it, intention. Awareness gives you acceptance of who you are, freedom from your thoughts and impulses, power to choose your actions, alignment with your higher values, and organic growth. Self-awareness is developed through 3 core practices: meditation in the morning, integration throughout the day, and reflection at night. Reflection happens through journaling, tracking, and optionally through deep conversations. Awareness for the purpose of self-discipline has 3 core qualities: clarity, seeing what is happening with radical self-honesty; neutrality, observing your experience without adding shame or guilt; and acceptance, embracing what is here without repression or suppression. Chapter 17.